British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has pledged immigration levels will be cut if he wins the general election on Thursday. Live now to Laura Jays in London. Laura, what's happening there?
I'm sure it looks very familiar to you, but come Thursday it could be a very different United Kingdom that people are waking up to. It is called the Brexit election, and it is being touted as one of the most important elections in a generation. There are two very different manifestos. Boris Johnson, get Brexit done, is his mantra. Today, Jeremy Corbyn said to his voters, well, come out and vote for me. It is a vote for hope. But as I say, two very different manifestos. The latest poll out today shows that Boris Johnson is well ahead of Jeremy Corbyn, about 10 points, and that would give him a majority in Parliament. So, look, that's what Boris Johnson is looking for. Anything short of that, a minority government, any parties that he's going to have to negotiate with, would delay Brexit, and it would really change the shape of Britain. Now, today, Boris Johnson has gone back to something that worked for him so well 3 years ago in the Brexit debate, and this is immigration. He's promised to cut immigration with an Australian-style point system. Have a look.
Bear down on migration, particularly of unskilled workers who have no job to come to. And I think that's what's happened over the last couple of decades or more. The numbers will come down because we'll be able to control the system in that way. And what I don't think is right is to have an uncontrolled and unlimited approach to that.
So the emphasis from Boris Johnson is to have more skilled migrants come into the UK rather than low-skilled migrants, and that is what they want to take from the American immigration system. Now, Nigel Farage, he used to run UKIP, now he's head of the Brexit party, but he's not running for a seat here. Now, his party, this Brexit party, hasn't done so well in the polls. They're looking like it might not even get one seat at all, but still he is holding the flame to Boris Johnson on Brexit, and he has said that the Tories' plan for Brexit is Brexit in name only, and are pushing for a harder divorce, if you like, from the European Union. You know Nigel Farage has always been on this anti-immigration mantra, and today, once again, he's saying Boris Johnson is late to the party.
We should not be discriminating against people coming from other parts of the world in favour of the European Union, and you do it on a skills base. You also differentiate between settlement and work permits, and the problem is they'll make no real commitment to cut the numbers coming in, and this is the fourth Conservative manifesto in a row promising to reduce numbers. Boris Johnson has always been very soft on the immigration issue, but you know what? There's an election on.
Now, Pete, this is the first December, the first Christmas election in about 100 years. It hasn't been one in December since 1923. And I've got to tell you, Pete, I can see why. It limits campaigning, and there's not a lot of sunlight hours, and it is pretty cold too.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Very interested to see how that affects voter turnout too towards the end of the week, Laura.
Yeah, absolutely.
First cross down of hundreds, I would say, over the next week or so, and nailed it as always.